Drawing is one of the oldest forms of human expression. It's believed that it was used as a specialised form of communication in the cave and rock paintings up to around 30,000 years ago, before the invention of written language. As humans, drawing is fundamental to our first few developmental years. We draw before we write and before we speak recognisable language. Drawing is the simplest and most efficient means of communicating visual ideas and is fundamental to creating. It can be a medium in itself, a record of something seen, remembered or imagined. The preparation for a painting or a sculpture. A study, plan or design for something to be made. But what are the possibilities of drawing? When we take marks, lines and shapes off the traditional sheet of paper or canvas, drawing becomes three-dimensional. It can be a sculptural drawing, extending out from the two-dimensional surface into real space. It can inhabit space as an installation artwork, relating to the architecture around it. A drawing can be temporary. Outdoors, interacting with the landscape. Can movement be a drawing? A line made by walking? A line moving in space? My work explores drawing's boundary with painting, sculpture, installation and movement. I like to think of drawing as a fluid, open way of seeing, thinking and making. I see my surroundings in marks, lines and shapes. Moreover, drawing has become a mode for how I experience the world. I draw visible and invisible marks and lines with my mind's eye. Things and movements observed in the physical world, my body movement, the entanglement of body and line, touch, sound, through ideas of trace, movement and inscription of space, I have come to incorporate broader ideas around drawing as being, life understood in terms of drawing. The Movable Drawings project came about from a lifetime love of drawing and painting marks and lines, and from collecting small objects. During the COVID pandemic, the gathering of objects became enfolded into my days. I began making temporary, abstract, three-dimensional sketches with the objects, fragments of things from the garden, the kitchen and the short daily walks during our lockdowns. They are a record, speaking of looking, making, walking, gardening and cooking, activities of that time. The movable drawings are another way for me to play with composition, arrangements in the picture plane, the elements of line, shape, colour and texture, sketches to generate ideas for the paintings I've been making. I like to collect leftover things, fragments of objects which look more like lines and shapes than the actual object itself. Every object has its own life story, a history of owners, travels, growth or formation, decaying or breaking apart. You can use a range of backgrounds for the movable drawings, different colours and textures, and a viewfinder like this to define the edge of the picture plane. The Movable Drawings project invites you to explore the small found objects and create temporary drawings here in the gallery. There's a collection of backgrounds and viewfinders here also. This is an invitation for all ages. Play around with the objects, keep moving them, until you reach a composition that says, "Please leave me as I am." Abstract or figurative, see where the little objects lead you. There is an invitation to photograph your favourite ones and add them to the hashtag on Instagram. Hashtag the Movable Drawings Project. Or to email them to the moveabledrawingsproject@gmail.com for me to post them to the hashtag. Opening this project out as an invitation to others is an experiment for me. Let's see where it might lead.